Good morning, everyone. I'm back on Take 10 with my Father. It's number 14 in our series, Take 10 with my Father, where the Father is pleading with us to not fear Him, but to love Him as a Father loves his son and daughters. He's the Father of us all. He's the Creator of heaven and earth, but He wants us individually to love Him as a Father. Well, today is October the 1st, 2015. October 1st is the feast of one of the saints that love the Father the most, that have put great, infinite, boundless trust in the Father's love for her. Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and of the Holy Face. This is a statue our ministry received from one of our members when we were in Lisieux in France, where Saint Therese of the Child Jesus was in the convent of Carmel, the Carmelites. This is her Carmelite inhabit here. She was a sister, a nun, in a cloistered Carmelite convent in Lisieux in France. We got this statue. One of the members purchased it for us. Beverly Roberts. Now she's in heaven now with little flower. We called it a little flower too. And purchased for us. It cost lots of francs at that time. Lots of francs. But she purchased it. We brought it back, and we treasure this statue of the little flower. And because our foundress, Cynthia Louise Marie Rollahan, loved Sarah Therese too. And so we treasure this. But this is a special feature of Take 10 with my Father. So I want to feature her and how she loved the Father, how she put all her trust in the Father, the Eternal Father, how she's a model for what the Eternal Father is pleading for us, to have this close and intimate and confident and happy and joyful relationship with Him. Not to fear Him as a terrible judge, which He's never been, and not to be afraid to approach Him, but to come to Him like a child, running to Him and jumping on His lap and asking His help for whatever we need. Let Him dry our tears and everything. Well, this little flower shows us this. When I grew up with the little flower, my mother was a convert, and Father Lyons at the Assumption Church in Kansas City, Missouri, was the pastor. And when Dad and Mom were getting married, my mother took instruction to become Catholic. And one of the things Father Lyons made a deep impression on her was the little flower. She had a great devotion to her, a very simple one. And she taught me, so I learned about her and my mother's knee, a convert mother at that. By the way, Father Lyons put a beautiful picture, a stained glass window in the front, in the facade of the church. It could hardly be seen from the outside. Stained glass windows are for looking from the inside, but it's in a like a closet up in the choir loft, and I always come visit that. And my parents, who didn't have a lot of money, donated the protection for it. They put plexiglass or something to protect it from the elements or from vandalism. And they're on a list there that donated for the window, the protection of the window of the little flower. So they love the little flower, and I was brought up with the little flower, and I'm so grateful. And she has really influenced me, especially in her childlike trust. Jesus said, I think in today's gospel, today we have, unless you become as little children, you shall not enter the kingdom of God. And the little children trust. They just want everything from the Father, and to trust the Father in everything. And she did. She lived that, and her whole life was to please the Father. She wanted to be a saint, of course, and everything. But her motivation, yes, to be a saint and to please God and to be a great servant of the church. But she also, but her motivation was simply to please the Father. She loved the Father so much. That's why she did everything, the littlest things, with great with great care, with love, with passion. even when it was hard and drab and gray, she would just want to please the Father. The Father, the Father, the Father. She loved the Father. And what pleased him most was to let, and that's what the whole thing about what we're doing here, is let the Father love her. Let the Father love her. So she would stand, someone put it so beautifully, under the torrent of God's love. And she wanted to receive everything the Father wanted for her. The good and the consolations and the answer to prayer, but also the suffering, the sharing in the Father's Son, Jesus' cross, his suffering. Yes, his resurrection too. Of course, the cross led to the resurrection. But no matter what the Father wanted, she only wanted to please him. No matter what the Father let her go through, she only wanted to please him, to please the Father. To let the Father, to be so vulnerable, to be so open, to be so receptive to the Father's love. And that's what her whole life was, is to stand under the torrent of his love. So she teaches us how to love the Father. When she was a little girl, she loved her father, her earthly father, oh, very, very much. And she would do little things to please him. And in her daily life, every little thing she wanted to please the Father, to please the Father. That was her joy, to gather flowers for the Father. Flowers of acts of mortification, acts of obedience, acts of love for others. Everything was for the Father. So she is a wonderful. She's even a doctor of the church. She's declared she brought a whole new look at what spiritual life is all about. It's openness to the Father. It's not counting all the things we've done or something, or trying to do great things that might lead to pride, but to let God do great things in her, and to surrender herself totally and completely in the Father's arms. In fact, one of her things in her little way, the three foundations or things we could explain to her little way of spiritual childhood was the first one was everything is a grace. Everything is a touch from the Father, a grace. Everything, each moment's a encounter with the Father, His will, and to say yes to it, to stand under the torrent of His love. But also the second one is a childlike trust as a little baby, as a girl, as a little baby or a little boy in the arms of the Eternal Father, trusting Him completely, sleeping in His arms. Now, closing your eyes, not worried about anything around you, but total trust in the Father. That's how she said it. And the third one, of course, just is to make love, the capital L. Is to make love, to be loved by love, to let the Father love her, to stand under His love totally every moment of it, what the Father is doing in the present moment, and to love, and we love good Father by letting Him love us, saying yes to whatever He wants. Like Blessed Mother, let it be done to me according to Thy word. That nothing else matters. God bless you.